In this chapter, I've been sort of easing forward with these concepts of additive and subtractive color spaces, particularly RGB and CMYK. Now, I've gone ahead and brought back in this Pantone process color set so that I can reacquaint you with this concept of RGB versus CMYK. So first off, we'll start with RGB. So the red, green, and blue primaries, and I've just set it so that we're at 100% red, look like this. So this is our red primary, this is our green primary, and this is our blue primary. Now let's go ahead and move this over here like so. And then our primaries for our process printing system, which would be CMYK, is going to be cyan, magenta, yellow, and like I say, even though it's not necessarily truly a color, black. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, why did we add black? And really, where does this whole CMYK thing come from? Well, the idea of the process of printing, four-color process, which is what CMYK really is all about, is that we are going to have four plates. We're going to have a cyan plate, we're going to have a magenta plate, we're going to have a yellow plate, and then we're going to have a black plate. Now, the black plate is usually used for line art. It's used for black text. But the other reason why they put black into this mixture is because these three colors together can cover a fairly broad range of colors, but they don't really get really dark. As you can see, these are all fairly light valued colors. And because of that, we really have to have some means of getting it to be a pure dark black, and that's the reason why they include the black ink in with the cyan, magenta, and yellow inks. Now, RGB doesn't have that problem, and the reason why is because the way RGB works is that a complete lack of light is black. So when you're dealing with an additive color space like RGB, what you really need is to find a way of mixing your colors to create white. And that's exactly what these three colors together do. Is when you mix these three colors together, you get white. When you mix these four colors together, you get what's known as rich black. So these are two completely different points of view on how to create the very far ends of the spectrum. In this particular instance, what they're interested in creating is white. And in this particular instance, what they're interested in creating is black. Now, the reason why, of course, is because a monitor is black by default, whereas a piece of paper is white by default. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Like I say, I've been sort of easing into this because the topic that we're about to tackle is one that really causes a lot of frustration and confusion amongst users of even advanced level users. So I really want to clarify this and really make it clear to you why this is such an important thing to get right. Now, when we're dealing with the RGB, you can see these colors are very, very saturated. These are at the far ends of a triangular shape. And of course, the reason why it's triangular is because if you figure, here's red, and that goes to green, and that goes to blue. So you've got 3 points, whereas the CMYK is going to be, more of a rectangular shape like so. And these shapes don't necessarily overlap. You can see that, points of the triangle might stick out past the square. And it really will depend upon which RGB and which CMYK. Now, that, of course, throws a whole monkey wrench into what I've been talking about, because there isn't just one RGB and there isn't just one CMYK. So we're about to look at the ramifications of this and what you should do in order to get the best possible results.